In the early 1990s, the South was the engine of American economy. In the mid 1990s, Southern politicians, the president, the vice president, the Senate leader, the Speaker of the House, dominated American governments. Just possibly, the late 1990s will witness just another form of Southern domination. We can glimpse the midst of Mississippi, Delta cotton plants and the Kuzu vines, and the hill that rose out of the marsh to support elegant Greek revival horses and unhurried, drawing courtesies. This is the land that produced the blues, ever praised, and some American-based literature. Everybody got the blue, said the sad song said. May just be that everybody, or a good American, at least will soon get Southern culture. The promotion is especially strong in Oxford, Mississippi, a pretty university town that was home to Wilmer Faulkner. On the campus at Ole Miss, a Southern Study Center has grown up around Faulkner's legacy and its conferences on Faulkner, as well as on Eris, Southern cooking and other local themes, attract visitors from all over the country. The center has compiled a monumental encyclopedia of Southern culture, explaining everything from importance of iced tea to the proper preparation of a catfish dinner. The encyclopedia is prefaced by a passage from Faulkner himself. Tell about the South. What is like there? What does they do there? Why do they live there? Why do they live at all? Faulkner traveled the world as a young man. In 1925, when he was 28 years old, he returned to Oxford to write about his postage stamps of native soil. Between that year and his death in 1962, he wrote 16 books and innumerable stories about a mystical Mississippi county called Yonopatawaka. This was something of a revolt. Other American writers have fled their progression roads. Tennessee Williams left Mississippi for New York. Truman Capote left Louisiana for Connecticut and utterly Manhattan. The South seemed inhospitable to literature. It was as H. L. Mencken wrote in 1970 from the real field heart of Baltimore, almost as styles, artistically, intellectually, culturally as the Sahara Desert. Faulkner proved Mencken wrong. Indeed, the years after the First World War witnessed a pouring of Southern literature. The Unapakawa novels demonstrated that the provincial folks could sharpen Alice's grasp of universal themes and so impress an international audience. In 1950, accepting the Nobel Prize, Faulkner spoke in a southern accent imperceptible to many who strained after his words, and his message was aimed at writing elsewhere. Literature only was where subject, he declared. The human heart in conflict with itself. It must struggle with the old universal truth lacking what any story is ephemeral and doomed. Love and honor and pity and pride and compassion and sacrifice. But Faulkner did more than prove the Merkin wrong. For Merkin's view was, some extent still, shaped by most Americans. Even now, what is recorded on integration is some what better many northern cities. The South still bear trace of those years when it was the heart of darkness, American elsewhere. As both events, the Confederate anthem and the flag appeared like ghosts of past white bigotry. More than that, the Southern patriotism, its mobility, stress on ancestry and soil, seems like an effort to American restlessness. Americans leave home, build a new life far away, pursue opportunity whatever it beckons, fold as they sing what they are from, and they do not typically swallow in sensational localism. Faulkner stayed home and they were found opportunity to be great. A modest way. The Southern Studies Center of Ole Miss echoes his achievement. founded by Wilson Philson, a Mississippi who traveled in his youth and left the job at Yale to return to his home state. Just Faulkner worked about Oxford barefoot as a young man, rode horses, and protested that he was more farmer, so to Ferris liked to recall his barefoot, bareback riding, farm boy youngs, and by forsaking years to study his own native postage study of soil, his furrow has won a surprise national image. This month, the 100th anniversary of Falklands Bros. Seemed like to confirm Mr. Ferris as head of the National Endowment for the Humanity, which hands off grants for cultural and historical emeritus in the unusual choices. The endorsement outgoing head, Southern Hockey, has been president of two universities before his elevation, but Bill Clinton chose Ms. Fraser nonetheless, partly because a Southerner Parliament would appear powerful Southern Senate, partly because Americans see new virtue in the Southern once vilified patriotism. Since the Southern Studies Center was set up in 1979, it has attracted several imitators. There is a Center for New England Study in Maine. There are similar institutions devoted to Pacific Coast, the Mountain West, and the West Southwest. Stanford University is mounting an Encyclopedia of West, which would complement Miss Ferrer's Southern one. Meanwhile, communal intellectuals lament the loss of local bonds that characterize a former age. Politicians talk about the need for a new sense of neighboring responsibility. In summer, Americans seem tired of rushing forward all the time. They like occasionally to look backwards. There's something that the South more of by the accent of days is civil war than by design. Managers to do, unlike the rest of America, it has returned an almost European sense of history. Faulkner appreciates this. No man is himself, he wrote. He is the sum of the past. The man first appreciates too. The goal of the national endurance for the humanity, he says, bring America home, remind its people of their roots and as a result, what they have in common. It's a large ambition. May not work, but in romantic purpose, its galaxy departs all odds, a very sudden mission.